Our next guest that we've got is, I am really excited to have, I know I say this over and over, but I really do appreciate every single person who is going to be on the call. And so I want to welcome Nkanyiso. Are you around, Nkanyiso? It is going to be sharing. And he's from e-Mfundi, and you guys are just doing incredible stuff. So they do stuff with corporate around drones and getting people to think differently, collaborate differently. They have a range of different solutions, and he's going to share just one of those with you today. So I'm loving to learn more about Nest. So thanks for hopping on and come share.
All right. Let me just share my screen quickly for everybody. Can everybody see my screen?
Everyone can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to start now. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for this opportunity. I'm just going to explain who I am. Hi, guys. I'm Nkanyiso Dlamini. I'm a co-founder and a director at e-Mfundi. e-Mfundi is a future fitness company, and we are in the business of changing mindsets. Thank you for this opportunity to present to all of you. And thank you to all the teachers and the educators for the role you play in society, and especially for the role you play in helping society move to where it is today. And thank you for playing the role that you play in children's role and helping them decide what they want to be when they grow up. I remember when I was growing up, I wanted to be a superhero, a boss, a superstar, all in one. Until this day, I have no idea what profession that is. But I think becoming an entrepreneur is pretty close. Entrepreneurship Day was always my favorite day back in school. I always loved and still love coming up with ideas, implementing them, and yes, of course, making that very first sale and pocketing the profit. As I look back at it, it seems that a series of entrepreneurship days had led me into becoming an entrepreneur today. And that got me thinking, what must we do at schools today to prepare children to become the entrepreneurs of tomorrow? Better stated, what are the skills that we need to embed in our children today to prepare them for the jobs of the future? Today, my presentation will be around this. And as I prepare to answer this question, I have two questions to ask the audience. The first question being, does today's curriculum give the students the necessary tools to solve today's problems? The second question, is the current method of teaching the most efficient way to deliver knowledge? As we've seen with the COVID-19 pandemic, it has disrupted anything and everything, and it has come and put everything to question whether its return of investment is valuable. One of the things is education. Due to COVID-19, schools are closed for 85% of the students worldwide. This is a stat from the World Bank. I'm going to repeat that again. Due to COVID-19, schools are closed for 85% of students worldwide. With the acceleration of digitization in all economies and all sectors, it's reasonable to assume that the same will happen in the global education space. Let's think about it. There's so much freely available educational content online. And that gives me the question, should curriculums really should be forcing teachers to teach students on content that they can freely find online? Or should the curriculum focus on converting teachers to become facilitators and helping students find the information that they're looking for online? Google, YouTube, and Instagram are the largest informers and educators in the world right now. Everybody from small businesses to large corporates are spending millions and millions of dollars trying to understand these platforms and how to leverage them to reach their KPIs. Experts on these platforms are being remunerated generously, and I believe that the jobs of the future will come from these platforms. Think about it. 10 years ago, did you have any idea what an Instagram influencer was? Did you have any idea what a YouTuber was? I mean, when I was in school, I was forced to know how to use a dictionary and how to use encyclopedia to find the information that I'm searching for. Shouldn't we as educators be literally teaching our children how to use these social media apps to find the knowledge that they are looking for, and more importantly, how to behave on these social media platforms? As I've mentioned, COVID-19 has really taken a hit everywhere around the world, causing the surge of unemployment everywhere, but also causing the surge of the adoption of e-learning and e-commerce. I wonder, will entrepreneurship days stay the same, or will they become e-commerce days, where we literally teach every child how to buy and sell online? We could teach them how to source things, how to buy things, and how to sell things online. And this could transform the way we think about entrepreneurship at schools. We can teach kids from a grassroots level how to monetize social media apps. This will make them digitally literate, help them understand how to build a brand online, and prepare them for the jobs of the future. And I think this is one way, as educators, we can ensure that the curriculum can give the necessary tools for the children of today to solve the problems of today. I realize, as I see my sisters and my brothers going to school right now, is that they were taught the same way that I was taught, and I was taught the same way that my grandfather was taught. And the problem with being taught the same way that my grandfather was taught is that in his day, they believed that the brain was mechanical, almost like a machine-like thing. Let's think about it as the brain being the computer, which would lead to us to assume that there would be a limit on how much it could learn, and it had limitations on how it could learn in terms of the different stimuli. But as we know with neuroscience and neuroplasticity, there's been new breakthroughs in terms of learning and development, and definitely in the skills development space. For those who don't know, neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to change continuously throughout an individual's lifetime. With this being said, this could help teachers decide and decipher what kind of stimuli works best when describing a certain concept or a certain piece of education. And a famous American educator by the name of Dale Edgar, he was responsible for the cone of learning, came up with some very interesting research. This research was based on terms of how best does the brain retain knowledge after 2 weeks. He mentioned that only 10% of what we read over textbook or over text is retained in our brain after 2 weeks. Only 20% of what we hear, whether through audiobooks or whether it be teaching, or quite frankly, if we're screaming at somebody, we only retain 20% of what we hear over 2 weeks. And most importantly, 90% of what we learn through actual actions, whether it be immersive learning. So for all the PE teachers out there and sports coaches, it seems that everybody can retain what you teach them after 2 weeks. And this could help us in terms of how is the best way to deliver information and what is the most efficient way. A good idea, can you imagine if schools started having YouTube channels, literally disseminating the information that they have in class? Or better yet, imagine if they had their own podcast where children and parents can engage in the classroom without necessarily being there. I think this could be another way of us delivering information in the most efficient way possible. Another way that I think about delivering information is definitely social learning. Yes, you guys might know it as copying. Quite frankly, I believe copying should be allowed in the classroom because, in all honesty, copying happens in the market. You copy what works and you let go of what doesn't work, and you're better on that. And if you look at the history of humankind, we have always been a species that learned through mimicking, storytelling, and literally copying what our parents do. So I do not understand why we don't have this social learning component in our classrooms today. But for those who are interested, we have a platform, a social learning platform, which we call Nest. Nest is a lifelong learning ecosystem that connects students and entrepreneurs and helps them with literally building up digital skills and lifelong skills to help them excel in the digital world. I'm just going to take a short session just to show you what it does. Here you can see the main features is to learn, earn, and shop. As you can see with the Nest platform, it shows you a very great user experience, and it has all the learning material that we need in a digital age, from understanding what the fourth industrial revolution is to helping people build apps without necessarily knowing how to code. One of our greatest courses that we offer is building a website literally in a matter of an hour, where we have lessons of 5 minutes and no longer, and we teach people how to engage. The other parts of this platform is the social experience, where we allow people to message each other so students can come on and message and share information. There's a leaderboard where they can compete in each course to see who's doing well, who's not. They can study in groups. And yes, you have live notification. But one of my favorite features is the shopping feature, where we literally allow students after learning to literally source goods online and to sell goods on our platform. They can sell to our Nest community and just generally overall to everybody on the internet. For those teachers who really think this is a great platform, we also offer free resources in terms of matrics because we understand it's been a really, really tough time. Nest is a very, very great platform, and we hope to move Africa forward and all the students. And we need to understand that right now is the best time to be innovative and adaptive, especially in the education space. I really hope in the next time that I get to see all of you guys will send me a link to your YouTube channel where I can engage in your classroom, or better yet, give me your podcast link so I can listen while I'm driving. But until then, what I'll do is I'll leave you with this video for you guys to watch and disseminate more information about Nest. Thank you.
Nkanyiso, you don't know who I am. My name is Joel. I'm helping out at the back end with this presentation, and I just was hoping you'd be cool to do a little bit of a Q&A for 5 minutes before we move on to the next speaker.
Okay, yes, that'd be perfect.
100%. I am highly impressed with what you've got there. And if there's any teachers, parents, or school leaders watching this, I can't reiterate as an entrepreneur myself how important it is that you're giving your kids the access to be able to actually, and from what I could see there, practically register a business, practically have accounting software involved, get an e-commerce platform up and online, as well as make it transactional. Tell me, where did this initially come from? Why did you want to be able to give kids those practical skills rather than just that theory in EMS where you learn the definition of a closed corporation or a PTY limited? What made you go, it has to change?
Well, to be honest, I just realized when I wanted to become an entrepreneur, like I really loved entrepreneurship there, and I really thought in the school format that was the most practical it got. But after entrepreneurship there, I just didn't feel like EMS taught me how to make money. It didn't teach me literally how to build a team, and I just really wanted a real lifetime experience because I didn't want the children to have the same experience when I was finished with studying and say, okay, I'm ready to start a business. Then realize that actually there's a huge learning gap that I actually don't know, you know? So yes, it's great to know the PTY and the LTDs, but we really need to know things that can help us with cash flow. So things like literally how to monetize social media, things that will actually bring income. So if we start this at a young age, can you imagine what will happen if someone graduates? We won't be so much, let's say, dependent on a job, but maybe instead of taking a gap year and traveling everywhere, maybe somebody can, you know, focus on building up their business and then, you know, earn a living and put less financial strain on themselves. So this really just was a passion project that I've always had with my teammates. And we really thought, like, you know, since we've been entrepreneurs for so long, let's give back in the easiest way. And we just thought on the digital platform.
Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Congratulations. Again, any parents, teachers, leaders at schools listening in on this, you have to get your kids learning about business in a practical sense. I did EMS in business studies at school. I can guarantee you it's the same today. Sorry if I'm insulting any schools, but it's a little bit of a waste of time. Check out Nest. It is a phenomenal product from what I can see. And just as one last kind of comment in this space around business, but not necessarily on either the practical or the theory, I saw a little calendar notification pop up there that said, I am, and then I assumed it was going to say affirmations, which for me shows me that you are a big believer in a mindset game. And I think that's exceptionally important as well to reiterate in the business space, especially as entrepreneurs, because as entrepreneurs, while it looks like roses and fairy tales to the public, there's often a lot of things that happen behind the scenes the public is not conscious about. So how do you personally, if I may ask, and what tools do you use to keep your mindset positive, to stay in a space where you can constantly add value to your audience? Yeah, what are those tools that you use?
Well, I use various tools, to be honest. But I think exercise is a great start. I mean, if you actually don't understand how your mind works in terms of really understanding, like, it is like the computer of your body. It needs nutrients, it needs exercise, it needs all that. So I really would recommend exercise as the first thing. The second thing is definitely meditation. I know that it's been overplayed and downplayed, but if you think about everything that you have in your life and everything around you started off someone else's idea. They literally had to conceptualize it first, put it down on paper, get people to work together to build that, and then finally the end product was there. If you can't get the simple step of literally visualizing what you want in your life, how can you turn that into a practical thing? So I always try to imagine what I want for myself in the next day or the next 5 years and literally find the skills today and work towards. So I really do think that exercise and meditation is one. And then the last thing is always be cognizant of what's around you, because thinking negatively, you don't really know how bad that is until it all adds up and it's all too late and you just get stuck into habits. So if, like, it's funny that you actually see that thing, but it's been habitual for me to say those things to myself, because when I'm building a product, not just for myself, but for other people, I need them to feel it. Like, they need to feel the energy of, like, cool.
Would you not say that it's we have tens of thousands of thoughts in our head every single day? How do you monitor all of your thoughts? Would you not consider it a bit too difficult to monitor and to make sure that only positive thoughts are coming by?
I think that's where the power of meditation comes to, is because in the beginning you have so many thoughts and you don't know which ones are the right ones and which ones are the bad ones. But then you have to see what are those thoughts turning into, like, what are the actions? So the actions are the outcome of your thoughts. So if you're not where you want to be in life, then you have to look at your thoughts and you have to then judge by your actions, like, what are the good thoughts are leading you into good habits, into good spaces, and what are the negative thoughts that put you in the same place. So the first thing that I will literally tell everybody is that experience is that in the beginning, you will receive negative, you will receive positive thoughts, but after you've gone through the whole actions and experience of that, you will decide, okay, this thought is negative. Because in the end of the day, a negative thought can either stop you from doing something, or it can be a motivator for you to overcome it. But it's up to you and your mindset to decide how you're going to use that, either to fuel you or to let you down.
So just to support your argument of lots of exercise and treating your body as a temple, and I'm sure you know who Tony Robbins is. Yes. His contention around monitoring your thoughts is that it's easier to monitor how you feel. And how you feel is based on, he says, there's motion and emotion. And he talks about just getting that body moving, using different poses. I believe there's something called a Superman pose, even he advocates, just to kind of get your feeling within you feeling good, I guess. And then from there, your thoughts will it's both subconsciously and consciously be subsequently positive. So just trying to reiterate from the point of view of a mindset being included in the entrepreneurial section. So thank you very much, Nkanyiso from Nest. And Nest provides the most amazing practical entrepreneurial education that I've possibly seen out there. Such an incredible looking dashboard that they've got. It seems that kids can go and open up their own PTY Limited, or at least go and learn how to do it, learn basic accounting, and understand how to get an e-commerce site so that they can actually transact, actually go and make a bit of money online and turn that into a career potentially out of it. So congratulations on what you've created at Nest. I can see that people can get hold of you on www.nes.emfundi.com, and I'm sure everyone can find you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social media platforms out there. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. All the best.
Have a great day.